Welcome, folks, to the iRacing Warriors Motorsportz Cup Series. We are live here at Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan 160. I'm your host, Rick Souza, with my co-host, John DeRudris.
Yeah, Rick, it's going to be a good night of racing tonight. We got about 20 drivers here on the track from various skill backgrounds, various locations, and looks like they just finished up qualifying. So let's just hop right in to the starting order tonight for the Michigan 160 here at Michigan International Speedway. So right now on the pole, you have Christopher Howell with a 38.5, a full tenth faster than the number 2 position of Jonathan Woods. There in third, you have Blake Giglio out of Low Drag Esports, and then you have Harley Barletta in the number 4 position, followed by Darren Owens in the number 5th position. Rounding out the top 6, you have John Ledger. 7th is Kubalay Kalen. Number 8 is Jacob Walker. Ty Bostic is in the 9th position, and rounding out the top 10, you have Luke Bullard.
All right, in 11th, David King. In the 18, Mark Feeney in the 73 and 12th. In 13th, Brad Previtt in the 9. In the 14th spot, Matt McComas in the 10. In 16th, we've got Paul Valenstein in the 89. The 74 of Kenneth Bradstock is in 17th position. Evan Amick in the 77 and 18. Chris Robley in the 85 is in the 19th slot. And Nick Salzberg in the 11 is bringing up the tail end of the field in 20th position.
And, you know, tonight it's a little bit of a cooler night here at Michigan. So let's pull up the track facts and see what we got going on for these guys tonight. It's like I mentioned, it is a little bit cooler outside with a 72 degrees right there with a track temp of 85. So the track's really cool, which means the track is going to have a lot of grip. It's about 40% humidity, a little bit cloudy, 2 mile per hour winds. And we also have, just to give you some more information, we have 60% fuel tonight, so not a full fuel tank. That means they're definitely going to have to make multiple pit stops, 3 sets of tires, 80 laps, 3 green-white checkers, and just in case the big one happens, Rick, we have 1 quick repair, which, you know, you got to have them sometimes, especially at a track like this. With as wide as it is, you can get pretty loose and eventually end up maybe taking out some guys, unfortunately. So that quick repair may come into play.
Absolutely. And Michigan is one of those odd tracks. Yes, it's a 2-mile track, but it doesn't really drive like a super speedway. I kind of consider it to be kind of a fat mile and a half. You've got wide back stretch where you do have some bailout if something were to happen, but you carry a lot of speed coming out of 4 and on the front stretch. And when you get to turns 1 and 2, man, it narrows, and the opportunity for disaster awaits each competitor.
Yes, it does, and you know that goes right into my 3 keys of the race. You know, 1, keep your car underneath you. We had a broadcast last night where they were at Rockingham, kind of the same kind of mindset here. Make sure you keep your car underneath you. It's not going to be as slick, but still with the air and the multiple lines here, that's going to play a factor. And that's my second point. There are going to be multiple lines run here. You got bottom, you got top. And then also tires are going to be important, but they may not matter as much since the track is cooler. But the pace car dropped down, and we are about to get the green flag tonight, Rick. Michigan, we are going green. We are racing.
Green.
And we have a Kubalay down all the way at the bottom. So 3 wide already here at Michigan as they take their time getting into turn 1. And there's those multiple lines I was talking about. You got all the way to the bottom. You got the middle line there.
3 wide.
Machine, and 3 wide there, back of the pack. Yep, Christopher Howell was like, you know what, I'm going to take this lead, and I'm just going to sit here and let y'all battle on as we have a car loose out of 4.
That was Haley Barletta. You gathered it back up, and he's back at it.
And we have a caution. Yep, we have a caution. So basically,
I think that's Kubalay.
10th on back. Yep, Kubalay. You got Valenstein. You got Bradstock involved. Evan Amick involved.
Oh.
I have to go back and take a look and see exactly what happened, Rick.
There we go. So we had
cars all over the place.
What started out was that 3 car, dropped down. I'm not sure. That's Luke Bullard in the 3. I'm thinking
You see
that's
the
where it
24
began.
there.
Oh,
Oh, that's a hard hit.
right at our
Hard
camera
hit.
position. Look at that.
Wow, what a video there. To see the 24 of Jacob Walker as well getting collected in this, and you see that Audi machine just tumbling down the front stretch. Not what you see out of that 66 camp, especially because we know he's fast. But it looks like it did start with that number 3 machine. Let's see if we can wind that back up and then get a good idea about how this started.
Yeah, I want to focus on that 3 car of Luke Bullard. And
It looks like he got in the 24 car right there.
It does look like that. Let's play it forward.
Yeah, it looks like you just pushed him up the track a little bit almost, Rick. I mean, we may have to go back and get a different camera angle, but that 24 looked like he was just a little bit tagged in the left rear, which is going to obviously send you up the track trying to collect it. But let's see if we can get maybe there we go, a nice far chase cam out of that 3 machine. Oh.
There's a lot of loose cars on that. Here we go. We'll run it at quarter speed. Let's see what we see.
So they're both getting into the high line. You can see, I mean, you could have 5 different grooves here. That 24 car is already sideways. You can see the right rear starting to get out on him, trying to gather it back up.
Looks like
and look at the car in front of him.
Yeah, it's like number 3 kind of reacted a bit, maybe got out of the throttle. He did drop down into his line, and he avoided him, but unfortunately, he may have just kind of overcompensated and.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of got back into the throttle, and it just kind of went around on him. And unfortunate there for the 24 machine, too, because he was just kind of loose all over the place, as the 3 car is going to have very unbelievably uncomfortable company right there out of the 66 machine. And that's where they tag, and that 66 machine got airborne, and the 24 machine is probably going to enter the screen here pretty soon. But unfortunate for those 3 machines that wreck early on, but they have that one quick repair that I mentioned before, which is going to be essential here tonight. So unfortunate for the 66 to 3, the 24, they're going to have to use that quick repair 2 laps in.
Not the way to start the race, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And
lights are off on the pace car. We took that entire caution to play that back, and that was a pretty impressive wreck.
Yeah, it was. That 66 machine was flying through the infield. Thank goodness it was able to come back down on all 4s. But, it's just a product of hitting that wall exactly where it did. He hit probably one of the most unopportunistic spots on the inside wall. And, when you hit it going that fast, there's nothing you can do. You're just along for the ride.
Well, pace car is about to drop out soon. It's got the lights off, so we'll be back to green flag in half a lap.
Yes, we will. Not much changing there out of the top 10. You still have Christopher Howell there in P1. You have Blake there in the number 16 machine on the high side in that patriotic scheme, looking good in P2. Jonathan Woods in the 3rd position. John Ledger in 4th, and Darren Owens there back in the 5th position. So everybody basically in the top 7 has stayed pretty consistent. The only drivers that have not made their way or kept their position would be the number 24, who started in 8th, and Kubalay Kalen, who started in the 7th position. It looks like pace car is going to drop down, and we should be getting the green flag here with Christopher Howell taking the lead and being that control car, and he is off, Rick. We are green flag racing as the outside line stacks up very much, and so does the inside line.
And they are already 3 wide, and at least flirting with 3 wide at the start.
Oh, they're loose behind the leaders there, Rick. Everybody is sliding around. You're definitely seeing very loose condition. There goes a car on the inside. He saves it.
That's the benefit of this wide backstretch for certain.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we have cars all over the track now. 3rd and 4th place is loose. Leader's loose. Leader goes into the grass, and we have a caution, Rick. They are wrecking in the back off of turn 4. They are continuing to wreck right now. I can't tell who that is, but we have a wreck in 3 and 4.
Yep, Brad Previtt. We'll go back to that while they're coming back to pick up the pace car.
So here's just multiple lines that we were talking about, Rick, and you could see him already starting to slide right there, and he just overcorrected, and no, Kublai Kalin got into it again.
Yeah, that was the 18 car of Dave King, who came down to avoid the spinning car of the 9 of Brad Previtt and doored Kublai in the process.
Let's see if we can ride along there with Kublai and see what he saw, because he almost looked very familiar to what happened with Chase Elliott. He thought he was past the wreck, and he kind of got collected in this. So he slammed that outside wall pretty hard,
we can
Rick.
go back pretty, just take it back a second.
Yeah, we can see here that car up in front of him definitely overcorrected back into the wall. So he automatically turns left trying to avoid it, and that 18 car just clipped him in the right rear. And you could look at how it looks like Ross Chastain's wreck almost right there with how he got up on 2 wheels.
Yep.
But able to keep it underneath him. But that car is going to be damaged, and he did use his quick repair, Rick. So it looks like that 66 machine will be out of this race. Very hard hit for that team, getting involved twice at the start, but sometimes that's just how it is. You just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes it's not your night. So unfortunately for Kublai there, it is not his night.
Not his night is correct. So we'll head back out to live action. Let's pick up the current leaders. And again, not much has changed, as you said earlier. Of course, we've only just gotten started. We are really just lap 7 of 80. And unfortunately, we are on our second caution.
Yes, we are. And looking right now at some of the standings, you have some big movers there. You have the number 89 machine of Paul Wallenstein, who has moved his way up to 9th from the 16th starting position. And you also have the number 73 of Mark Feeney, who has made his way up to 7th, and he started in 12th. So you have a lot of movers right now that have made their way up through the field, a product of what this racing is, and some of the unfortunate circumstances around some of these other drivers. So, Rick, maybe the survival of the fittest at this point, because, I can't remember seeing a start of a race where this many cars have been loose. The leader was loose, second and third place were loose. The previous caution, it seems like every car is just loose right now.
It's unfortunate. It is an overcast day. You'd expect them to be a little bit tighter, but that's not the case.
No, it is not. But looking at some of these times here, they are running similar times to what was going on in practice and qualifying. So we know the track is fast, but still very dangerous out here as it looks like the pace car lights are off, so we'll be getting green flag racing coming up here. But, Rick, let's talk about this. If you're some of these drivers, what do you do? Knowing the car is going to be loose, do you lay back? Do you try to let the tires get a little bit of temperature in them? What is your strategy from here on out?
So if it was me out there trying to make my way around Michigan, I would do just that. I would lay back a little bit. I would be more conservative with how deep I would drive it into the corner. I would try to give myself 8 laps of tire wear to kind of wear in those tires and build some heat in them, and at that point see what I've got, what kind of car I've got underneath me, and to then drive accordingly. But it's really hard to take an aggressive stance this early in a race.
Yeah, it is. As we've seen, it doesn't matter where you are on the track. You can be loose on the bottom side, loose in the middle, loose in the top. It doesn't really matter as we are now making our way down into turn 3 and coming out of turn 4 here. It looks like we're going to get a green flag again for the 3rd time here tonight. We had the initial start, and then this is our second restart here. So number 88 is still controlling the race, Christopher Howell, and we should be getting green any second now, and we are off. Oh, no, he stacked up the field.
Oh.
So we're going to have to take a look at that, Rick.
Outside may have jumped a little bit, but may have been in the restart zone.
May have been in the restart zone, but that 19 car definitely beat that number 88 to the line, but it looked like the 88 did back off a little bit. So kind of curious how race control is going to judge that one, but the 88 does take the lead right in front of that number 19 machine of John Ledger as he's going to drop down to the bottom side, try to get a pass coming into turn 3.
And you're right, as he begins to try and get, another
wreck. Big wreck. Oh, goodness. And they're still wrecking behind you, Rick.
Ty Bostic saw him.
Yep,
Chris
we got
Robley,
Ty in there.
Mark
Darren
Feeney.
Owens.
Yep, we're back under caution. We can go back to, goodness
gracious there, Rick. This is, this track may be a little bit looser than we were even predicting. So at this point, let's just run at like half throttle. I mean, I don't know what they can do, but let's see if we can go back. Let's see if we can go back, take a look, and see what happened here, because that involved 5 or 6 cars. So you have that Liberty paint scheme up on the top line, third car right there, the number 22.
That's what we're focusing on. You can see
overcorrection, same thing as last caution, Rick, and overcorrection.
We can back that up just a little bit, but change our shot here. And it's not. It was. He's trying to save it. And all of a sudden, it just
snapped on him.
Yep.
And then I think the 73 had nowhere to go. What a move there by that individual getting around, but then you have multiple cars there on the bottom trying to get through it in an unfortunate situation. I believe they're still going to wreck after this. You have a car sliding into the picture right there. So unfortunate for somebody early on, Rick. It's just been a tough race, especially in turn 3 and 4. Turn 1 and 2 hasn't been as treacherous, but turn 3 and 4 is been very, very dangerous. They're looking at that IWM car, the 85 there, Christopher Robley. You see the 9 squeaking by. A lot of wrecked race cars.
Yeah, we have definitely seen a number of our competitors tonight get caught up in these early yellow cautions.
Yes, it is. And Rick, I would like to mention, while we have been talking about this caution, we have had some pit road action there with Christopher Howell bringing the majority of the field down, except for a few cars. So you have a little bit of a split strategy here among the top 10. It looks like Christopher Howell came down pit road, so did Jonathan Woods. And Christopher Howell is going to be in the 6th position.
Yeah, definitely a number of competitors in on pit road. Looks like he overshot his pit there for a second.
Yeah, just a little bit. And that may be why he is so far back in the field. Yeah, that's what it was. Definitely in that number 88 machine. We know how Christopher Howell runs. He's a great driver. He can definitely make his way back up there in that Fanatec 88. But, unfortunate for a lot of these guys out here because we have a lot of wrecked race cars. Thank goodness for that one quick repair, Rick. If it wasn't for that, these guys, we'd have half the field out of this, unfortunately. So, looks like we'll be able to get some things done. And looks like he's coming back down pit road with 1 to go. Lights are off on the pace car, and Christopher Howell, my bad, is on pit road again. He didn't get involved in that, did he?
I don't think so. No, he was out in front.
Let's see what he does here.
He's changing tires.
Maybe he forgot to change right sides, left sides. I don't know. He's taking.
Oh, he's doing a full pit stop.
Full pit stop. Interesting strategy out of that camp. Not really sure what happened. But the leader of what the race was for the first 12 laps is now in the back of the pack with the new leader, Harley Barletta, in the number 81 machine, and Darren Owens there. They both are on the front row for this restart, started in respectively 4th and 5th. So what a move by those guys. I just want to make some honorable mentions right now. Paul Ballenstein has made his way up to the 3rd position there in that number 89.
He was a driver that masterfully avoided that wreck and weaved his way around that last big wreck.
Yeah, and he's, that was my key to the race. Keep your car underneath you, and he's been able to do a great job of doing that. And so looking at this, we have a restart coming up here between these guys, and let's see what happens. You see the 3 car back up there, the 24 car back up there. But we should be getting green flag racing here very, very soon. And we are off. That 81 takes off. We are green again. We're a couple cars in the wall on the outside line, Rick. A little bit of stack up, but they should be getting up and decided and getting everything filed out. But that 81 is checking out as we're getting 2 and 3 wide for third on back. Yeah, we got a big battle going on right there. This is the dangerous point of the track, Rick. Air is essential, and so are these tires, and so are these cars. These cars have been loose. So far, it looks like they're able to make it around all nice and clean.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of slicing and dicing with this group.
3 wide with that number 89 machine in the middle, not where you want to be. Drops up to the high line on lap 14, so nice move out of that camp. And the race is on, Rick. The race is on for second place right now. 4 cars under a blanket. It's like a 1-2-1 formation as the number 89 machine is going to go all the way to the bottom. Wow, 4 wide racing here at Michigan. I don't know if this is going to work, Rick. You got 4 lines.
Someone's going to have to back out.
They kept it clean. Great move out of that car. I can't tell.
That's
who
Luke
that
Bullard
is.
with the 3.
Great move there. To not push the issue too much, as the number 16 has taken P2 right now, but he's still getting battled on by Paul. You have Luke there. A lot of good racing going on. They're all chasing that man right there. Harley Barletta has checked out to over a 1.6 second lead on the field.
Well, and our second place driver, Blake, has kicked up a little bit of a gap between himself and third place of Bullard.
And here's what we are expected to see here at Michigan. Multiple lines, cars are stable. It looks like they've been able to get these cars dialed in now after a couple cars. Oh, the 3 cars in the wall, they're going to go 3 wide going down to the bottom. He's going to drop down below that white line to clear that 3 machine who did tag the wall out of 2. And that's the big factor. Got to keep your car underneath you. As we have 4 cars right there, the 89, the 2, the 3, and the 24. 89 slides up the track, gets down low. Whoa. Yep, a lot of give and take right now. A lot of give and take, but there is no penalty for going down below that white line, Rick. So the racing line is basically the entire surface of the track. Is the 3-car
contact with the 89.
Yeah, that 3-car, it looks like he's kind of all over the place. It looks like the car's very unsettled right now as he got into the number 89 machine of Paul. These cars at this track, I wonder if air is making a bigger difference than we actually believe, because we've seen some cars just spin out on their own, which I don't believe is the product of cold tires. Air on the spoiler and on the nose of these cars may be causing some issues as we're making our way through the field. There's Evan Amick in the number 77 machine. Christopher Robley there in the 85. Out of Brillion, Wisconsin. Christopher Howell making his way back up there out of Chesapeake, Virginia. He's moved his way back up into the 12th position after starting at the very back of the pack. Ty Bostic in that number 22 machine. He has been able to keep his car underneath him after that last caution and to use that quick repair, so good thing that he has that on his side, but he doesn't have any more quick repairs throughout the rest of the race. There's Matt McComas getting loose. As soon as we got on him, Rick, he got loose going into 3 in that number 10 IWM machine there. And going on a little bit further on back, you have Brad Previtt.
So a little front end damage on Brad's car.
Yeah, and that may be a product of him using that quick repair early on and not having one for the rest of the race. So we'll see if that plays a factor as we see Kublai Kalin there in that damaged Audi machine. We know he's been involved in some of these accidents. He's getting lapped by the leaders right now. Just trying to stay out of the way. But good to see him going around and sticking in this race. It does take some humility to do that, because if you're getting involved in wrecks and sometimes you get so defeated. So good job out of that 66 camp to do. But we look like we have a little bit of a close battle between Harley Barletta and Blake. The gap is close to half a second.
Yep, these guys have moved out to little bit of a gap over the rest of the field. Looks like they've got nearly a 2-second gap between themselves. They've kind of insulated themselves a bit from the rest of the pack.
Yes, they have, and Blake is on the move there, Rick. He has closed it down to under 0.5 of a second, down even to 0.3 right now. He seems to be the fastest car on the track, running very solid lap times. So we'll see if he can catch him. I think he will. I mean, that lead was up to 1.5 there a few laps ago.
Well, you can see from the tower, the last lap, he's closed a couple tenths on top of Barletta, so he's working his way up.
And if you look down through that, there's really nobody that's able to compete with them. I mean, you see the John Ledger machine there, a 39.4. You see Owens there, you see Walker, but nobody's been able to keep up with these front two right now as it goes on. I'm very curious to see how Christopher Howell makes his way back up through the field this last time. But looking at these last lap times here, it looks like it's evened out maybe just a little bit. And that number 18 machine is ready to pounce. He is on the bumper. He is ready to go. Cut it down to 0.3 of a second now. And he's in the draft, I believe, Rick.
He is. So number 16 of Blake, I can't say his last name.
Giglio?
Giglio. We'll approach
Giglio?
it. That's it. It's Blake Giglio.
Yep. As he's taking the lead, he's challenging that number 81 machine.
Still,
and you can see them going back and forth.
There was definitely a little wobble in the 16.
But look at what I've paid attention to the last couple laps is his corner entry is very much of how he can get such a good run on that number 81 machine. He's able to drive down to the corner a little bit further, and you see a little bump drafting there, Rick. I don't know if I would recommend that.
Michigan, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know we said it wasn't a super speedway, but you know what? I guess with these long straightaways in the backstretch, you could actually theoretically bump.
Yeah.
But you know, he's going to get these major runs going into the corners, trying to make that 81 car make a mistake and slip up. We'll see what happens here as he goes to the high side of that 81 and now just files in right behind him.
So 24 laps complete of our scheduled 80 here at Michigan. This is the iRacing Warrior Motorsports Cup Series race here in the Michigan 160. We've got approximately 20 competitors here tonight, and they are duking it out. We've got the leaders, Harley Barletta and Blake Giglio, have jumped out to a fairly significant lead over third place of Jonathan Woods and Darren Debo Owens in fourth, Jacob Walker in fifth, and Luke Bullard in sixth.
And making our way back up through the rest of the field, we have John Ledger 7th, Paul Valenstein in 8th, Kenneth Bradstock in 9th, and Christopher Howell there up to the 10th position. So look to see how he does, and because he did start in P1, we'll see how he can do as this race goes on.
We'll jump back to third and fourth, pick up those guys. That's the third place driver, Jonathan Woods. We've got definitely some competition going on with Darren Owens and Jacob Walker battling for that fourth spot.
Yes, we do. They are neck and neck right now.
24 has
for that fourth position.
They both got some damage on those vehicles from those earlier events. We did have a rash of cautions early on this event, but we seem to have smoothed it out a little bit over the last few laps.
Yes, we have, and so that 24 machine looks dialed in as he's made his way up to the fourth position, passing Darren Owens there. So see what that Jacob Walker machine can do after getting involved in that early wreck, as we see the number 16 machine still back there as we're looking on back to the field, have some other battles going on. You have the number 19 machine going low on the number 3 machine of Luke Bullard there, and it looks like he may make that pass, and looks like he will make that pass. So move the number 19 up into P6.
We'll check back with the 89 of Paul Valenstein. He's got been a gap between him and Luke Bullard, but on his tail, and now in the 9th position is Christopher Howell. He is hunting down this group.
Yeah, you know that saying that I coined back in the recruitment races. Christopher Howell is on the prowl, Rick, and he has made his way up and running very solid lap times. He's been very consistent. He has been able to really just attack these drivers and make his way back up, and he started there at the tail end of the field because of the late pit stop. So he may try to string this out a little bit and maybe try to go to the end. I don't think he can make it. But
his last lap, 39.44, so he was by 2/10 outpacing the leaders.
Yeah, he is definitely on the prowl, Rick. He is. He has the car to beat. I mean, he was on the pole. He was able to be a major factor in other races too. So I expect him to have a really solid comeback as we have a pass for the lead, Rick, I believe. That number 2 or number 16 machine tried to get around that number 81, and here we go again. He's going to go on the bottom side. Looks like we have a pass for the lead. He's going to drop all the way down. No side draft. Smart move out of that number 16, and it looks like we have a new leader here tonight in the Michigan 160. Blake Giglio is taking the P1 position in that patriotic number 16.
Absolutely. I think Harley's trying to keep back up with him and staying with that higher line. That may work better for him. We do have some lap traffic here that could play a factor as these leaders make their way, and could use him as a pick. We'll see.
Good, and you've seen it before, is that 81 now is on the bottom side. And looks like that number, I think that's the number 9 machine.
Oh, a crossover move.
Yeah, a little crossover, trying to get the draft and trying to mess up that guy behind you. That's what the 16 was trying to do. So what a job by that 16 machine, getting out front and taking control of the race. 30 laps in, going on 31 here, almost at halfway. So we should see some pit stops here in about 20 laps, I would imagine. So expect some green flag stops.
We must have missed something. We have to go back to Christopher Howell because he is now in the pits, I believe.
He is in the pits. He has dropped down, almost a lap down. He is a lap down. Oh my goodness, Rick. The guy that we were supposed to watch has now been somehow dropped.
Let's go
Don't
back
really know
to
what happened.
Let's see if I can go back and find something in the replay here.
That's the number 74 machine. Oh no. Oh, unfortunate there.
Looks
But
like
I
the
don't think
89 of Paul Valentine went into the wall. No caution, but unfortunately, major front end damage to the 88.
Yeah, but it looks like he will be back on the track. He may be the first car lap down because he does have his fast repair. But Rick, before we know it, we have the number 81 machine going down pit road. We have green flag stops happening right now. The number 81 of Harley Barletta has come down pit road when we were talking about Christopher Howell there. So we have pit stops going on, and he was in the P2 position. So he has been the first taker out of these leaders to come down outside of Christopher Howell. Looking right now, there goes the 74 machine, I believe.
The 44 now is also in the pits. The 24 of Jacob Walker is coming in. The 73 of Mark Feeney is on pit road, but definitely these guys are... So we're going to see the rest of the leaders probably trickle their way through with need for some fresh tires and some more fuel.
Yes, we will, and I'm going to make a note of this right now. Lap 32 to 34 is when these guys came down pit road. My guess, Rick, is they are going to try to push this to the end if they can. They may have to come down one more time, but right now we have green flag stops going on. And you know what? These tires are going to play into a factor now since that Blake Giglio machine is in P1, very comfortable lead over Jonathan Woods there in P2. We'll see what his lap times are compared to these newer tires. And you know what? Let's see if we can bring that up, Rick. Let's see if we can bring up these last lap times between Blake and maybe even Harley Barletta there, who has gone a lap down. And looking at Giglio's 39.84 and looking at Barletta, needed for this update, definitely that 114 was when he came down pit road. Let's see if we can get some updated here. Updated data, and he ran a 39.02. So about a half second a lap there that he is quicker than the number 16 machine.
All right, well, we'll see. We got Luke Bullard is now on pit road, along with
He has
Kenneth.
made his way down.
He did, and Kenneth Bradstock is also on pit road. So we're gonna just take a little bit look. We're gonna see the rest of green flag stops, but our leader Blake Giglio last pitted on lap 10, along with our second place car of Jonathan Woods and John Ledger. They were all in that lap 10 range. The same also with Evan Amick, who's now moved up to 5th, and Ty Bostic, Matt McComas as well. All those were last pit around laps 9 and 10. So that's they're due probably in relatively soon, based on what we're seeing right now for our first round of green stop pit stops.
Green flag pit stops.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Rick. It's been busy in and off the track here tonight. So I completely get that, as we are about to be halfway in this Michigan 160 here in about 3 laps, with the 16 machine still out front. Leading this thing.
We are seeing now the 90 of John Ledger and the 85 of Chris Robley have now come onto pit road. I expect we'll see our top 4, which is Blake, Jonathan Woods, Ty Bostic, and Evan Amick, who will be in shortly.
Yep, and looking, there he is, the number 88 machine. He has a clean car.
He is on. Well, he's used his fast repair. I think he's still at the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, he is. He's about 5 cars away from that lucky dog position now, so he needs to pass Harley Barletta. He needs to pass Luke Bullard. He needs to pass Darren Owen, Jacob Walker. Got to pass all those guys to get back to be the first car lap down, because he is clocked in at 12 right now. And to give you guys some more data, we are now only down to 7 cars on the lead lap. So we still have green flag stops going on. Blake still needs to come down pit road.
We got them now. They're coming down.
Yep, there he goes. Number 16 is coming down with the IWM car and the number 2 of Jonathan Woods. And he just was like, you know what? You're not going fast enough. I'm just going to go right around you. So, Rick, that was exactly a 28 lap run there for those machines. 29 lap run. So that is about the fuel window, it looks like, to be with these 60% fuel here tonight.
So they will need one more stop.
They will need one more stop. So right now, Rick, we have 2 different strategies going on. We have people pitting on lap 32 and 33, and we have people pitting on lap 38 and 39. So if we do a little bit of math here, it looks like we have people that are going to be coming down, obviously, within 10 to go, and some within. So look for people starting to come back around pit road on lap 65 to lap 70. That is the window to make it to the end, and you should be able to make it to the end there. So we'll see what can happen, but that is the race right now, because these guys are all spread out on the track. And going back to what I was mentioning before, Christopher Howell is now back on the lead lap, and so is Paul Balancine, so is Kenneth Bradstock, but he is almost 48 seconds behind the leader at that last time around. Now, that's definitely going to change due to where the leader is, but Rick, these guys are now back on the lead lap. So if a caution comes out, these guys are back in it.
Absolutely. So we're back to 12 cars on the lead lap with 1 car a lap down. That's Matt McComas. He's going to be our lucky dog, my guess is, at this point.
Yes, it is. But look who the 16 is behind again, the number 81 of Harley Barletta. So Harley was in that group that came down on lap 32 and 33, and Blake was in that group who came down on lap 38 and 39. So this number 16 machine is obviously going to have fresher tires. He's going to be able to get around him without any pressure at all on him. So looks like the 16 is going to take control of this race as it is. But, here we go. We're going to see what happens. Maybe that earlier pit stop may give that 81 just enough of a gap to be able to pull it off where the 16 can't come back and catch him. But we'll have to wait, Rick. We'll have to wait till about 5 to go to see what happens.
Well, here we are. We are just past the halfway mark at lap 41 of 80. Blake Giglio has returned to the front of the field, followed by Harley Barletta. Jonathan Woods is sitting in 3rd. John Ledger in 4th. Luke Bullard in 5th. And Darren Debo Owens is in 6th.
Jacob E. Walker is in the 7th position. Christopher Howell has made his way up to 8th. Evan Amick is in 9th, and Paul Valentine is 10th. Rounding out the top 11, you have Kenneth Bradstock, Christopher Robley in 12th. He is the last car on the lead lap. And then going now in the lap down cars, we have Matt McComas in the 13th position, Ty Bostic in 14th. Kublai Kalin there in the 15th position. You have Bradley Previtt there 3 laps down in the 16th position. And Mark Feeney and Dave King round out 17th and 18th, 31 and 35 laps down.
Yeah, we're seeing the Kublai, Mark Feeney, Dave King, and others here just on pit road trying to get some repairs made and hopefully get back out here on the track.
It looks like we got some comments coming in. We have Ross Tatum saying, let's go Jonathan Wood. So Jonathan, 3.8 seconds back right now. You got to make a little bit of ground up to catch these guys. You have some fans out there cheering you on there. So, and shout out to Brandon Barrier. He unfortunately does have COVID. So hopefully him and his family can all feel better to get back on the track. We love having Brandon Barrier here racing with us.
Also, our point leader, Dean Sprinkle's out tonight. He had a unfortunate issue at home tonight. We wish him and his family all the best.
Absolutely, Rick. So right now we are now going up on lap 44. Leaders are coming around turn 2, and that 16 machine has pulled out to over a 7/10 of a second gap on the 81 machine of Harley Barletta. So that 16 is the car to beat right now, but I would not count out that number 88. Yes, he is 20 seconds back, but with one pit stop, all it takes is a bad pit stop from some of these leaders, and that 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th place driver will be back into the front of this field.
Well, why don't we take this opportunity to kind of run back through the field, and we'll see how folks are doing.
Sure, let's do it, Rick. So obviously we have Blake there out of Rochester leading the field. Harley Barletta in 2nd. Jonathan Woods there in 3rd, slowly making his way up to the field. And 4th, you have John Ledger out of Boston, Massachusetts. His Boston Celtics are playing the Miami Heat right now. Maybe he's not a Celtics fan, but anyways, Darren Owens there in the 5th position out of Goshen, Ohio. Bullard in the 6th position. Nice recovery from him. Same thing with Jacob Walker. Good to see him back on the track in Arkansas. Rounding up the top 7. Top 8, you got Christopher Howell there. He has made his way back up to this field. So good job out of that camp to get this car clean as we now move back to the 9th place car of Paul Valentine. We've seen him involved in some accidents tonight, but he is in the number P9. And making our way out of the top 10, or the last car in the top 10, you have Kenneth Bradstock there. Said his name quite a few times tonight. So that is your top 10 right now, as we now have 11 cars on the lead lap, with Evan Amick out of Clover, South Carolina, being the last car to be on this lead lap. There's Matt McComas. He is now the first car lap down, still getting around Robley there in the number 85. And we have a car on the grass, and speaking of Robley, there he is on point. He has become a lawnmower really quick, unfortunately, but looks like he's able to keep his car at least straight, maybe not clean, but at least he's able to keep it straight. But that's going to move him down with the 1 lap down cars there. So unfortunate for him. There's Bradley Previtt 3 laps down to the 15th position. Kublai Kalin there. Nice recovery just to be on the track, Rick. That car has been banged up, been involved in multiple accidents. He is back in the 16th position, but every lap and every point in every position
point counts. Yeah, don't. Yep. If you can still make it out, go out.
And then rounding out the cars on the track, what a run by Mark Feeney. Gotta say, he is 37 laps down. There's no way he can come back, but seeing him being out there and running, that just shows the fight that this team has. And a couple cars have been out of this race, so he may make up a couple positions barely if a couple cars go a couple more laps down there. So good showing there from Mark. What triumph there out of that team. But let's make our way back up to the leader. There he is, now pulled out to a 3-second gap. That was pretty quick there. He is pulling away.
He sure is. So, we'll take this time for a quick commercial break. Don't go away. We will be side by side during that commercial break. And if we could jump back in, we will. But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson.
Unbelievable finish.
It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead. Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Aloba is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all he's worth here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out?
Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome back, folks, to the iRacing Warrior Motorsports Cup Series race here at Michigan for the Michigan 160. We are on lap 52 of a scheduled 80. I'm your host, Rick Sousa. I've got my co-host, John Drudras, here in the booth, and we're watching Blake Giglio pretty much come out to a commanding lead here on lap 52, soon to be 53, here at Michigan.
Yeah, it looks like nobody's really been able to keep up with him outside of Jonathan Woods, and even Harley Barletta has dropped back to a 6-second gap now and growing on that number P1 position of Blake Giglio there. So looking at the race stats, I mean, I'm taking a look at some of these lap times, looking at some of the gaps here, and Blake has been the most consistent driver on the track. He has been slowly gaining on these guys. He's not overdriving his car. He's basically utilizing all of my 3 keys, multiple lines, keeping his car underneath him and not wasting his tires. So Blake is now going to be the car to beat since Christopher Howell has made his way up to P7, passing Jonathan Walker there in that number 24 machine. My bad, Jacob Walker. My bad, Jacob. He has passed him, but still 24 seconds back. Unless there's a caution, not really going to be able to catch back up, or one of these guys has a mishap here in the top 6, but he's checking out there, Rick.
He sure is. Let's jump back and see. Jonathan Woods is trailing him, but he's by himself out there, about 3 seconds behind. And I think if you jump back to Harley Barletta, we'll see the same thing. He is also by himself, nearly of the exact same delta between him and the second place car of Jonathan Woods. I think the only battle is happening back here with John Ledger. I thought it was John Ledger and maybe it's basically Luke Bullard back here with Darren Debo Owens. They've got a duel going right now here for who takes 5th place.
Yeah, you know, if I was these two good drivers, I would try to draft a little bit. I wouldn't worry about passing each other. I'd see if I can, be faster with 2 cars. Just have a car loose on the bottom side there. But, maybe see if you can draft up a little bit, maybe gain a little bit on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place positions, even the 19 car of Ledger there. So, it's definitely going to be hard to catch up, but right now the field is very much spread out between the top 11 cars who are on the lead lap. And it looks like, Rick, the 11 machine is going to be victim of that leader there. He is going to be going a lap down here fairly soon, which is going to move him to the first car lap down. So he will be the lucky dog if somebody comes around, as we're taking a look now at the 88 machine going around the 10 machine there of Matt McComas with ease.
So I think that's the 11 car. That's a 77 car of Evan Amick.
Yep, he is in that 11th position, and he is going to be swallowed up here pretty soon by that number 16. He's just not going to be able to outrun him here. And also Kenneth Bradstock, got to throw his name in there as well. And look at the leaderboard there, Rick. We have a pit stop out of the 88 machine. 88 is on pit road. He is going to try to short pit this.
Interesting. A good play.
And as I mentioned, I think it could be a good play as long as there is no green-white checkers, Rick. These cars can go about 27 to 29 laps. So with 23 to go, he should be 4 to the good, unless we get 3 green-white checkers, which he may be in trouble there. But he has become the first car a lap down to go, or for the first car, my bad, to come down pit road. He more than likely will be a lap down.
He came down with Paul Valenstein. They came down together to grab fuel and tires.
Yes, it is. And, you know, with the way that this race has gone, I've been watching some of these lap times. You have Harley Barletta running a 39.8 to his last lap. You have Jonathan there running a little bit quicker, and you also have the number 16 machine running a little bit faster than that. So this pit stop may be the pit stop for the win there out of those two camps, the number 89 and number 88 there. So we'll see what happens. But we have some green flag stops already starting, and we expect the other drivers to start making their way here on about 15 to go. That is when the first round of those pit round stop, or those pit round.
So we've got Darren. Yep. That's Darren Debo Owens and I think Kenneth Bradstock. We've got Jacob Walker.
Yep, here they come. They're coming a little bit earlier than I thought they would, but they can definitely make it to the end from here with 21 to go.
So that's Harley Barletta and Jonathan Woods also in. It's that time.
Yes, it is, and it looks like it's going to be the same exact strategy as what was going on before. That number 16 is going to stay out for probably as long as he can before he has to come down pit road. But we saw what happened. That 81 was able to get in front of him. Same thing with the number 2 machine. So we'll see what happens here between these drivers. But that 16 has now increased his lead up to a 13-second gap to Ledger, simply because of pit stops within the top 5.
So is he hoping for a caution?
I don't know. I mean, I hope
he's got to stop.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like these other guys are hoping for a caution to maybe get in front of that number 16 machine of Blake there. But we'll see what happens as we are now approaching 19 to go tonight.
There's only 3 left who have not gone in. That's Blake, Luke Bullard, and Kenneth Bradstock, I think, who have stayed out. Evan Amick as well.
Yeah, Evan Amick has not come down as well, which could be a nice move to stay on the first car lap down. But everybody else has come down. So, yeah, looking at the leaderboard, yes, it does look like we have 3 cars on the lead lap, all separated. But you have Luke Bullard coming down right now. So only 2 drivers have not pit, and that is the number 16, and that is the number 74. But if I'm guessing, that 74 is probably going to come down fairly soon here, because that 16 is on the prowl.
Well, I'm thinking that 16 is about to go down pit road as well, but we'll see. He knows his tires and the fuel situation better than everybody else.
And there he goes. Bradstock is in. So the only car that has not come down pit road is that 16.
Has Evan Amick made his way down?
Evan Amick as well. Got to state him. All the lead lap cars have made their way down. So right now, looking at it, yes, the entire field has technically been lapped by the 16, but that's not indicative of what is going to happen here whenever this 16 car pits. So it is all now up to that number 16 machine on how he wants to dictate this race.
With 17 laps to go.
Right. I mean, what a move by Evan. If he can hold on to that P2 with that 1 lap down, he would actually be the first car to actually take the lead, because Blake's going to have to come down, which is going to give everybody the wave around. You'll see Evan Amick actually in second place if that 16 machine does in fact have to pit, which he will pit. But what a move by the 77 machine to put him up into P2, as we see the 16 coming down pit road right now. Rick, don't speed. On the 16, don't speed. But he is, a little fast.
Little fast, little fast. We'll see.
We'll see, but look, there you go, guys. Pay attention to the leaderboard on the left-hand side. You are going to start seeing that lead whittle down, and we may see a brand new leader here very, very soon. Once these leaders start passing that number 16 machine. Right side's on.
Looks like our
left side's on.
Camera position is getting beaten up a bit by those cars blazing by. Someone's also
And
now
he's
on
off.
pit road. That's Matt McComas.
He is off, and here's the lead. It's dwindling down very quick, Rick. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. Oh, that 16 machine was very close to that outside lane. I hope he didn't get an unsafe pit exit. We'll have to wait and see. But that 16 machine, Rick, has taken back control of the lead. He is now on fresh tires with 15 to go. He's got this thing secured, I'd imagine.
As long as he was okay when he came out of off a pit lane.
It looks like he is. I mean, he has a few laps just in case something does happen. I don't see any black flags being thrown in his direction, but we will see if he has to come down here in the next few laps. Right now, 16 has regained the lead with Jonathan Woods in second, Harley Barletta in third, John Ledger in fourth, and Darren Owens there rounding out the top 5.
Well, don't look now, but Christopher Howell has now moved up into 7th position. He's about half a lap behind of our leader.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to have to hope for a miracle here, or a caution, really, to come back and be able to be in contention to win this. But, you know, he may grab the 6th place spot and maybe even the 5th place. He may get a top 5 out of this if he can somehow get around that number 88 or the number 3 machine, the number 44 machine. So he's looking for a top 5 finish, which would be great for points for that team.
So right now everything's kind of shuffled up a little bit as to where our cars are. So we've got Blake out front in our number 1 position. You've got Jonathan Woods farther back. There's some mixed in traffic. You've got some lap down cars kind of shuffled in between our lead lap cars. So they've all got something to deal with as they're coming around with these last 13 laps to go here in Michigan.
As we make our way back, looking at Harley Barletta there in that beautiful 81 machine. He is in the 3rd position. There's John Ledger there out of Boston in the number 4 position. And don't look now, but that number 88 machine is getting close to that number 3 machine of Luke Bullard there. So we may have a pass for the 6th position here very soon, which would be the closest battle on the track. I don't really see anything else going on, but those 2 drivers are very close together. So let's keep a riding around with these guys, see what happens. Oh, we have a caution, Rick. 12 to go.
Caution.
Jacob Walker. It looked like we had a caution, Rick. Maybe?
Oh, yeah, the caution is flowing. It's 4th caution tonight.
I believe that was Jacob Walker that got into the wall coming out of turn 2. I may be wrong on that, but his car looks pretty damaged, and I believe I saw him on the bottom of the track. So let's see if we can go back and see what this Arkansas native had to go through there. I believe he was the one that was in the incident.
See if we can locate that. That was...
Oh, you see the car spinning right there on the bottom. I can't tell who that... Oh, let's see if we can go back. Who was that? I was just passing the screen. I believe that, it was the 24 machine of Jacob Walker.
With the leader. Oh, my gosh.
With the leader right there, Blake, very lucky to not get involved in this. especially with that 24. You can see the 24 getting tight, and he tries to push the gas in, and you can see that rear end going around. And so here he goes. He's going to make his way, overcorrects it to the bottom side of the track. I'm going to whip that thing around.
Luckily, he's on that backstretch, which is super wide.
Exactly, because if he was on the grass, that thing would really have no control. He'd just be sliding in. And as we were saying this, Rick, we do have some green flag stops with the leaders. Leaders are on pit road as we speak. So if I'm the 88 car, you know what I would do? I'd take 2 tires, right side tires, and come out and get track position. But looks like we have all the leaders down pit road right now. The only one that didn't pit was the number 3 machine of Luke Bullard there. That's a bold move.
It is. That's moving Luke all the way up to the top of the leaderboard with 10 laps to go.
That's a risky move there, Rick. He's betting on some more cautions and that he can get a great start on this restart.
Yeah,
but with all these guys on clean tires, that's risky.
Yeah, he last took tires on lap 61, which is that previous round of green flag pit stops we saw earlier.
Yeah, so he's going to be kind of a sitting duck with the rest of these guys right now.
Well, and guess who's on his outside at the restart?
You can probably see that on the leaderboard, guys. Number 16 of Blake Giglio. We got to get in the pronunciation on that just to make sure we're pronouncing it the right way. But the 16 is right there.
So, in fact, if you look at the top 7, they all came in, top 8 all came in for fresh tires and probably just fresh tires and a little bit of fuel. And so they're going to be surrounding like a swarm Luke Bullard, who will be on the pole. So,
yes,
should
he will be
interesting.
There are the wave arounds going around right now, and here we are, 9 to go in this race. 10 cars on the lead lap as we speak. And don't look now, but that number 88 machine, he's back up there. We know how fast he can be. He's in that 7th position, looking to capitalize on this last caution.
Well, it wouldn't be an iRacing Warrior Motorsportz event if we didn't have some excitement here at the finish.
You're absolutely right there, Rick. So we are about to get the green flag with 8 to go. We do have 3 green-white checkers if we need them. That will only come out if it is on the white flag or if it does happen, caution happens before they get to that coveted white flag. But right now, they're about to go green again here with about 9 laps to go. And looks like Retro Wave Dave said, having a blast tonight watching the broadcast on one screen, Luke Bullard on the other, and Mark Feeney on another. As we are now getting green, that 3 car is off, Luke is off, Blake is off, and we are green flag racing again here.
It looked like Luke spun his tires a little bit there, getting off, and that caused the 3 car to be able to jump out in front. But of course, they're coming out with fresh, cold tires here on this restart.
Yeah, Rick, and we've seen what can happen with cold tires here. Yep. Oh, we got a slider there.
He recovered. That was the 70. Was it not the 74? That was the.
And do we have a caution? I believe we have a caution. Rick, they are wrecking out of 2. So 5th caution. These cold tires are not playing any games tonight.
We'll have to go back and see who that was. Jumping back, we'll see if we can pick it up here.
So it looks like, yeah, the car is sliding right there. Looking along there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I see it. It's a little bit farther up.
I believe so hard to tell who that individual was.
I think it
number
was
44 machine.
I think it was the 44 of Darren Owens.
And yep, it's the product of these cold tires, Rick. You can see that back end start to step.
He did a good job of not overcorrecting because it was still.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse there, Rick, for these guys for sure. But looks like he's able to keep it straight. But we did get a caution there, so
we did.
Interesting dynamic that was going on as we see the pace car lights are still on the pace car, and we are now on to our 5th caution with 6 to go here tonight.
A number of guys have made their way to pit road. Jacob Walker, Paul Wallenstein, Matt McComas, Kublai. Some of the guys who are in the back have come back in to try and get their last set of tires to come back out to finish these last 5 laps, probably 3 laps. They'll be in regulation left in this race.
In this wreck, well, that would probably describe a lot of these guys' races here tonight is probably a wreck. We've seen a lot of them. Unfortunately, they are coming at the beginning and at the end of these races. Very typical for this kind of racing with this kind of car and this type of track. So it would not surprise me if we had another caution come out, but hopefully not. Hopefully we can stay green to the end, as we are now going to run down through the order right now. We have Luke Bullard still taking on P1. Blake there in the number P2, or in P2 position rather. Haley Barletta in 3rd, Jonathan Woods in 4th, John Ledger in 5th. Christopher Howell, look, there he is. He'll be in the 3rd row starting number 6th. Darren Owens in 7th, Kenneth Bradstock in 8th, Paul Valenstein in the 9th position, and Jacob E. Walker there rounding out the top 10.
All right.
Look at those guys. They're ready to get double file again. They're ready to get back and go in there like, pace car, turn the lights off. We got racing to do.
They're getting close. We're almost at the end of this. They've worked hard to make it to this position after 75 laps, 5 laps to go here at Michigan, and we're getting formed back up. Lights are off on the pace car.
Lights are off, which means we are going to go green with 5 to go. Not quite a green-white checkered, but a nice 5-lap shootout here tonight at Michigan. So right now, I wouldn't keep that 88 car out of our minds with who could possibly squeeze by with a win here, since the field is all stacked up again. You have Woods there in that number P4, Barletta there. So many drivers can win this because we've seen so many cars get loose.
Well, and this is actually playing a little bit into Luke Bullard's hand, because this caution has saved him wear and tear on those tires. So he's been able to pick up 3 or 4 laps of a much slower speed and much less wear on those tires, because he is about 10 laps behind pretty much every car around him, because they pitted on lap 61 and everybody else pitted on lap 70. So this does play into him. This does help. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, we will see. We'll see if the decision to not come down pit road and take track position will win Luke Bullard the race, or if that 16 machine who's been fast all night will come home with the victory. Pace car drops down. Cars out of 4. We are about to enter the restart zone here at Michigan tonight. 5-lap shootout, and we are racing again here at Michigan. And what a good restart there by the outside line as well. He is not clear. Now he is, but everybody is neck and neck, especially 1st through 4th as they drop down into turn 1. Side-by-side racing now coming out of turn 2. We have cars sliding, and we have multiple cars sliding, but it looks like they saved it.
Oh, that was a pass by, Blake passed.
That's Jonathan Woods there in the 2 machine. 2 is loose. 2 is loose on the bottom. He's going to overcorrect it, and we have a wreck in the back. Multiple cars sliding back up the track. No caution. But we had a mess back there of cars, but let's go back up to the lead. We have a 4-car battle now. Don't look too far back there. We have the 16 is in command with the 81 behind him. And look, another loose car there. This is what's going to happen, Rick. A lot of loose machines here with Blake, Luke, and Harley Barletta there up in the front.
Yeah, that was a 19 of John Ledger who dirt tracked it through that turn. Blake is on top. Harley Barletta is in second, the 81. The 3 car of Luke Bullard is holding on to 3, and John Ledger is holding on to 4. Paul Valenstein is up to 5th, up to 4th now. He's taking over that position. John Ledger in 5th now. Jacob Walker in 6th. Christopher Howell is now in 7th.
Yeah, he dropped back on that start. Definitely the cold tires got to him. As we see, the battle now is on for second between the number 81 machine of the Haley Barletta car as well as Luke Bullard there. They are chasing down the 16 machine. If I had to put money on this right now, I would say that the closest driver to possibly... Oh, we have a wreck. Both, they're sliding. 81 is wrecking. 81 on the apron. 81 is sliding back. He has hit the cone, hit the pit wall. He is out of this race.
We are on the final lap. White flag has waved. This is it. It does not matter.
No, nobody's even close to the 16 machine there, Rick. I can't even describe what just happened. You saw the 3 get loose, the 81 get loose, multiple cars get loose, but the car that has been able to keep his car under him has been the 16 machine of Blake as he rides that tie line, not trying to push it too hard. He is going to come off of 4, and Blake Giglio of the 16 machine is going to win tonight here at Michigan International Speedway.
That's just amazing. What excitement again. Here with the IWM, we saw John Ledger crashing. Christopher Howell has crashed. What happened there? Oh!
And another car that is blown over there. Unfortunate for that 88 machine. Maybe he was able to come back, and I mean, looks like he's dropped back to 9th, but looked like he came a little loose. Jeez. A lot of wrecking still going on. We got cars blown up on the front stretch.
Yep. Gosh.
A lot of carnage here tonight. I mean, I can't even describe how many cars are damaged. I think oh my gosh, they're just piling into each other. We have massive wrecks going on here, and I don't even know who's in the top 5 anymore, Rick. We're going to have to go back and take a look at this and figure out who's where, because we have multiple cars that have wrecked coming to the checkered flag.
We'll have to go back and look at maybe this is just Blake celebrating. We'll just have to see how it goes here.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he did drop out of the server, I'm guessing, and we look like we got to push. The 22 car is pushing that 88 machine to finish this race. Or no, that's a 16, my bad. That is the leader pushing Christopher Howell across the line. And you know what? That's a well-deserved celebration there. What a run by the 16. What good sportsmanship there. And you know what? Christopher Howell, he is 1 lap down, but he gets a top 10. So Christopher Howell does finish in the top 10 by getting pushed from the number 16 machine. As there, he well-deserved burnouts there by good old Blake. And looking now, we are now pulling up our race results. Blake there with Low Drag Esports has won tonight's Michigan 160. Luke Bullard is in 2nd. Jacob Walker comes home in 3rd. Jonathan Woods is in 4th. And rounding out the top 5, you have Kenneth Bradstock of Southern E Motorsports.
Number 6 is Evan Amick with Southern E Motorsports. Paul Valenstein in 7th, Harley Barletta in 8th, John Ledger in 9th, and as my partner stated, Christopher Howell comes home with a top 10.
Yep, Ty Bostic rounding out 11th, Darren Owens in 12th, Brad Privet in 13th, Kubalay Kale in 14th, Matt McComas in 15th, Chris Robley in 16th, Mark Feeney there in the 17th position, and rounding out the last position, last but not least, Dave King, Elliott Swope, Nick Salzberg, rounding out your 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th positions. As we see right now, the 16 has found his way over to victory lane.
Yes.
Waiting to get interviewed by us tonight. And don't leave now, guys. We have interviews coming with all these drivers in the top 3, the podium drivers. Hopefully we can bring them in for interviews. But stay tuned. We are going to bring in these guys very shortly.
Let's see if we can raise Jacob Walker. 1 second. Mr. Walker.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. Welcome to the broadcast booth. That was a wild ride.
Oh, yeah, it was. Cars were loose all night.
Yeah, Jacob, it's John. How's it going, man? I'm surprised that everybody was able to keep their cars underneath them, especially yours. You were involved in some early carnage. So just explain how were you able to come back and get a podium finish here tonight with how loose these cars were on cold tires?
Well, I had to stretch the run out, and I didn't use my tires first caution, so I stayed out a little bit. And then about 30 laps in, I came in for fuel and got tires, and then used my last set on the last caution and came back third.
Well, you did a fantastic job tonight, coming home in P3 in a crazy race. I mean, we up here in the booth, we were trying to keep track of all the cars that were all over the track. We couldn't keep track of everything, but good run out of you tonight. Anybody you want to thank? Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank my sponsor, DustyPete's.com. You can go check them out for some NASCAR diecast or anything you need. And, yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for your race tonight and your third place finish.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can bring in Luke Bullard there. Don't know if he is into our chat yet, but let's see if we can bring home that P2 of Luke Bullard there. Wow, what a run by him. He's been all over the track too. A good run out of that number 3 machine.
Well, let me see if I can move him up to the broadcast booth. Luke Bullard, this is Rick Susan, the broadcast booth.
Hey, what's up, man?
Sorry to interrupt your display there, but we've got to get our interviews in, and congratulations on your second place finish. It was a wild ride.
Yeah, there was several little hiccups there, but we gathered her up and able to keep going, fortunately.
Yeah, which that is, you know, the name of this race. There were a lot of hiccups out of almost every single car tonight. So explain how you felt on the short run with how loose these cars were. Were you having to baby it around until the temperatures built up?
Yeah, you really had to get the tire pressure up early on in the run. That was really the reason I stayed out at the end. I didn't have about 5 green flag laps, and it took 5 to 8 to really get where you could turn the car. You just felt like you were just kind of floating around on air early on in the run.
Well, that's one of the things. That's one of the things we noticed, that you were pitted last on lap 61, and you were surrounded by folks that had nearly 10 fewer laps on their tires, but it still worked out. It still played out.
Yeah. Got a little bit of help there at the end, the last couple laps, but we played out well. It was just kind of a little strategy there. I was contemplating going in. I actually dove down at the last minute, changed my mind. Just a little gut decision.
Well, it obviously paid off for you, finished in that number 2 position tonight. So congratulations on that. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or give thanks to tonight?
Yeah, I give a shout out to my buddy Ty. He's always helping me out.
All right.
There you have it. Luke Bullard in that P2 coming home tonight. Let's see if we can bring in our winner, the number 16 car of Blake, and I want to get a pronunciation on his name, see if we can bring him into the booth so we can pronounce it right. But what a race by him, Rick. But it looks like we got him in. Blake, how's it going? This is John and Rick up in the broadcast booth.
How's it going, boys?
It's going great. So we probably butchered your name the whole race, so help us out here.
Giglio.
All right.
Giglio, we were right. Rick, fantastic. so when you go back and watch this, Blake, you don't have a butchered last name, which is good to have, and I would know that firsthand. But you know, you had a solid run all night long. You were constantly in the front. You were able to pass the cars. You were able to keep your car underneath you, which was my keys to the race. And how were you able to not have that car get loose like everybody else was on the short run?
I think it was important to keep your foot in like the gas a little bit and not fully let off of it. It seemed when you got out of the throttle more, it kind of snapped on you. So I think keeping it with a little bit of throttle in there kept it stable, which really let you ride center more and get a good run off.
Well, it was fun to watch. You certainly, especially in that long green flag run, to watch you extend your lead out and to well time your green flag pit stop We were a little concerned. We saw some tire smoke as you came onto pit road, that you may have been a little bit fast coming on, but you saved it and you came off, and it was you came back on the track and you were right back where you started.
Yeah, that was close. I did almost speed. I will say that. I was really close to speeding. So got everything I could out of there. I think that was also a big part of the race, was getting as much as you can on pit road, because I knew they were sharp hitting me, but I knew that I wanted the fresher tires towards the end. So I got everything I could out of pit road, and luckily we turned out to not speed, and we were able to get a win.
Absolutely, and you said it right there. You were able to come down pit road and get those fresh tires, and that looked to be like the strategy to win as you passed Luke there for the win on that last restart. So congratulations, Blake. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to or give thanks to tonight after your win?
Yeah, we have CDC Racing on the car, Low Drag Esports, Premier Racing Setup Shop. You guys for broadcasting, the whole league as a whole gets going every week. So check everyone there, and hope to see you guys next week.
Sounds great. Again, congratulations. That's Blake Giglio, the winner of the iRacing Warriors Motorsportz Michigan 160. All right.
Rick, another weekend in the books here. Tonight, Blake got home that win, and we are a fourth of the way through the season. Can't believe it. But we have a lot of solid racing coming up here in the next couple weeks. So make sure, if you're watching right now on YouTube, to subscribe, follow us on any social channels so you can keep up with all the racing here, especially on the IWM Broadcast Network as well as the IWM League. So, Rick, any parting words tonight after a very exciting Michigan race?
Exciting. These are the cardiac kids, this group of iRacing Warrior Motorsportz Cup Series guys. Next week they'll be at Nashville, so that should be an interesting short track, 160 laps there in Nashville. That should be a fun race to watch these guys battle again.
Yes, it will. So tune in next week, same time, same channel. This is Rick and John, and we are going to sign out. See you guys.